Hi, Annalisa. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing okay. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So, what brings you in today? What are some things you've been going through?
Um, so I just left a relationship that I'd been in for about 4 years. It wasn't a good relationship. It was pretty bad for both of us. And I finally just left, and now I feel like maybe that wasn't the right decision. Um, and I'm just kind of like constantly anxious now. It's like hard to get out of bed some days. I just, I don't know. The guilt is kind of like overwhelming at this point.
Yeah. Leaving a relationship is hard anytime, but especially when you've been together for a while and um, that aftermath after a breakup, feeling the overwhelming of feelings like, did I make the right decision? Um, or could I have done things differently? How could we have worked things out? It's hard. That's really hard. I'm sorry to hear about that. Um, so tell me about the breakup. Tell me about the relationship.
Um, it was not great. Um, it like started off just being like verbally abusive. He would just like he was very controlling about like who I would talk to. He would just pretty much like insult me on the regular. And the control was the biggest thing. And I should have stopped it there and seen where it was going, but I didn't. Um, and so then it kind of progressed. And anytime I was doing something that he didn't like, um, that's when he would start to get physical with me. Um, and even when I would try like hiding things, like hanging out with my friends, I didn't realize he had been tracking me on my phone. So he still knew that I was like being bad essentially. And so, yeah, he would kind of punish me when I would get home. And I know it sounds like stupid and it's like, why didn't you leave earlier? But um, like he would always say if I would threaten to leave, like he would always say that like if I left, he would kill himself, and I couldn't handle that because I do love him, and so that's kind of why the guilt is coming in now because I don't know if he's okay or not.
Yeah, that's a lot. Um,
Mhm.
I'm hearing a lot of controlling and manipulation and trapping, and even though he was the abusive one of the reasons how he kept you around and kept you staying is that he made you feel guilty. He made you feel like you were the one that was causing the issues. And like, did you ever feel like when he would get mad that you were with your friends, or um, that you did he make you feel that you're the reason he's acting like this?
I mean, I know he was just trying to protect me, um, and that's why he would get so angry about it. Um, but now that I say that out loud, I kind of realize that it's probably what you're saying, that maybe that was a little bit of manipulation on his part.
Yeah, that's very hard. Well, I'm proud of you for having the courage to leave the relationship. That's very difficult. There's a lot of, it almost kind of sounds that you have some sort of like PTSD from leaving the relationship, just because you're feeling guilty and feeling like anxious, and feeling guilty that he may kill himself for leaving. But I want to read it with you that that's not you. Being in an abusive relationship is not your fault. I want to keep reiterating that, and I want you to keep telling yourself that. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sometimes it seems when after you leave a relationship, and like kind of what I think you're going through now, that like you still do love him, which is obvious that that's normal. You
Mhm.
were in a relationship with somebody, that's normal to love them. Um, it kind of seems that the guilt and the anxiety and the love you still feel for him, that's making you try to put this into words, like you feel like it's your fault, but you shouldn't feel like it's your fault. Um, and it kind of seems like you're going through like a lot of trauma from it. Like it's a traumatizing experience.
Yeah, it's just kind of always on my mind now. And like I'm living with my parents right now, but anytime I like leave the house, I feel like I'm looking over my shoulder. Um, and I'm just scared that like he'll hurt himself or he'll hurt my parents or my friends. Like if he hurts me, like I can deal with that, but I can't deal with if he hurts the people that are close to me.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you're in a safe environment now.
Mhm.
Um, has he tried making any contact with you? Or, yeah,
Yeah, he was like texting and calling me kind of nonstop. So I ended up just blocking his phone number.
that's good.
Especially because I wasn't sure how he was still tracking me. So I think once I blocked him, that made it like he couldn't track me anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing with abusive relationships is that when the abuser needs someone to control, and when they no longer have that, they don't know how to handle.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Um, so I'm gonna give you a few techniques that you can work on in the meantime before our next visit. Is that okay?
Hmm.
To help you? Okay. So one thing that I think, especially with breakups and like working with clients that are having trouble with any type of breakup, um, or relationship issues, I want you to remember, keep in mind, remember the bad. Okay. So I know after a breakup, it's very easy to miss them. It's very easy to think of all the great times you had together. Like, oh, like Halloween's coming up, like going to the pumpkin patch and like doing fun things together. It's very easy to remember all the good, and that makes it a lot easier to miss them and want to call them, and that makes it hard.
Hmm.
But it's very, we tend to forget the bad, you know? We tend to forget why we left. We tend to forget the name calling and forget the hitting and forget the manipulation. So I want you to be able to think and remember whenever you're feeling like you miss him or feeling like you want to text him or whatever, um, remember the reason that you left and remember the bad, um,
Hmm.
and remember to, you know, keep yourself grounded, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And also, you said you're feeling like anxious and yeah, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so I what helps you when you feel anxious? Like, do you have any hobbies that you do? Do you do yoga? Do you drink tea? Like, what helps you when you're feeling anxious?
Um, I knit, and that helps me a lot just to keep my hands busy. And it's pretty mindless too, so you can just kind of zone out and you don't have to think about the whatever's worrying you.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome that you like knitting. That's very cool.
Mm,
I
thank
feel
you.
like not a lot of people know how to knit anymore.
Yeah.
Right, right. Well, whenever you have these overcoming feelings of anxiety, doing things that you enjoy that help you, like you said, keep your hands busy, and help ground you are fantastic. And also different breathing techniques, um, doing a lot of, when you're feeling anxious, understanding your surroundings, 5 things you can see, 4 things you can smell, I mean, not smell, four things you can hear.
Mhm.
Um, are you familiar with that?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, those are great grounding techniques. Um, so, yeah, do you think you could do those techniques, work with that until our next meeting?
I definitely am gonna try those out, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, I think in our next few meetings in the future, we can work on um, getting over some of that feelings of anxiety and feelings of guilt and um, working on, like you said that you feel like he's gonna go after your family or go after not feeling safety. We can work on that. We can work on feeling um, more safe in the environment and more comfortable. We can work on that. Um, so, how does that sound in the upcoming weeks?
That sounds really good. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'm gonna end with I'm proud of you for leaving the relationship. It was not your fault that you were in such a that situation, and I'm so sorry that that happened to you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, um, I look forward to our next meeting. Um, and yeah, let me know if you need anything.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. Perfect. Have a good day.
You too.